He told us, he told the doctors, but more importantly, he told his closest confidants that he had quit doing steroids. About 6 weeks later was when he hung himself.
2 years after a Texas high school steroid user took his own life, his story still makes headlines, and that's just how his father wants it. Since Taylor Hooten's death in 2003, Don Hooten has made it his personal crusade to warn teenagers about the dangers of bulking up for sports.
It is just a sad story.
Taylor's use started simply. His baseball coach told him he needed to get bigger to play varsity, but gave him no guidance on how to do it properly. So he turned to steroids, supplied by someone at a local gym.
You take a kid like Taylor who started because of athletics. Ultimately, we're convinced continued because of the looks he was getting. The girls liked it. He was strutting around with the guys.
The effects were sudden and dramatic, but not all pretty. Enhanced upper body muscle, even breast development, acne on the back, water retention or puffiness, and bad breath. Those are the signs.
As we look back, we had a kid that was showing all of those signs, and you combine several of those signs together, parents should know, probably beyond a shadow of a doubt, they've got a steroid user in the house.
What might be more difficult to connect are the emotional and psychological effects that often lead to roid rage.
Just out of nowhere, Taylor would take his fist, usually, and slam it into something, slam it into the top of the table, several times slamming it into a floor. And my wife and I would look at each other and go, what did we say that triggered that?
Tearful apologies would follow, as did visits to a physician and psychologist. But depression and denial led Taylor to commit suicide.
Taylor would look at me right in the eyeballs and say, Pop, I don't do drugs. I'm not that stupid. I wouldn't do drugs. And I honestly, sincerely, bottom of the heart believe Taylor didn't think he was doing drugs. When they see Barry Bonds or these other major league athletes doing steroids or accused of doing steroids, they don't think of them as druggies. This is a drug just like Coke or heroin or any of the other drugs, and oh, by the way, it can be just as deadly.
Don Hooten has the unfortunate benefit of hindsight. Now he wants to make a difference for others. He's launched the Taylor Hooten Foundation, the only nonprofit organization in the country to raise awareness of the dangers of steroid abuse. The message: steroid use is illegal, immoral, and if it doesn't kill you, it can lead to serious short and long-term health problems.